2, 1.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Cooper's Corner. So for this episode, it's going to be the first in a series of 4, all aiming towards preparing for Speech Fest. So Speech Fest doesn't come until like May after spring break, but I'm already doing sort of the pre-work, the scaffolding. I already have it in mind. So I'm going to split it up into 4 things. Today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about beginning my writing program and some really basic starting points. Then next week, I'll do one about teaching persuasive writing, which is, I would say, the most common type of writing kids do for speeches. The following week, I'll talk about how I teach descriptive writing, which students have the option to sort of, instead of persuade, they can just sort of give their story about something. So that could be useful as well. And the 4th episode of the series, I will give you exactly what I do after spring break to focus on the speech giving itself, assuming now they understand persuasive and descriptive and they're going to write one of those. Let's talk about the oral speaking, all that kind of stuff. So when I talk about writing, I say to the kids, we have to have 2 big goals, because sometimes when I'm reading students writing, I'm confused and I'm bored. So our big goals are for our writing to be interesting and our writing to be clear. And so there's all these different mini lessons I'm going to give you that are going to help our writing be more interesting and be more clear. And we're going to work towards that over the next couple years. So first, super easy one, I say about clear writing, spelling. But let's not let spelling get in the way of our ideas. When you are writing, I'm going to say, if you come to a word you don't know, gum it. Give it a try, underline it, move on. We don't want to just stop and raise your hand and ask your teacher, and as soon as a teacher gives the spelling once, they expect you to do it forever, so don't do that. But when it gets to the editing phase, then your teacher will help you, give you an iPad, tell you the spelling, that's fine. Don't let spelling get in the way of the flow of your ideas. Second thing I talk about is spacing. I simply show them, this is not good spacing in your writing. It is confusing. This is better. They have a bit of an idea where the margins are. Kids don't know what margins are. So tell them what margins are. This is what we're looking for. Notice the indent at the beginning of a paragraph. Double spacing makes it easier for your teacher to read your writing, as well as for when you're editing, you can write the editing notes in there. Okay, couple really easy mini lessons for clear. Let's talk about interesting. The first one I'm going to share with you is adding interesting details. Please note, again, this is all from Adrienne Gear. I am stealing her stuff, sharing it with you. I give her all the credit. So when we tell our kids we need to add interesting details, a lot of the time they don't understand what that means. They think we just mean make it longer. Somewhere here, I'm not sure if it's here anymore, I have this example called Cat and Dog. It is a page of this grade 3 having written, I like cats, I like dogs, cats are good, cats are bad, cats are good, and dogs are good. And it just goes on and repeats itself. A lot of writing, but not interesting. So what do we mean when we say add interesting details? So I put up these 3 sentences. I like snow, I like books, I like red licorice. Are these interesting? No, they're boring. Why? It's repetitive. The words, meh, blah, not that exciting. Okay? So I then say to them, I want you guys to write 3 of your own boring sentences on your desks. So they go ahead, I like pizza, I like soccer, whatever. While they're doing that, I bring up this slide. Okay, I've added some details. I like snow because it's fun. I like books because they're nice. I like red licorice because it's good. Is it longer? Yes. Have I added stuff? Yes. Is it interesting? Still not really. Maybe a little bit more. Why? The words are boring. And this word because. Because is a good linking word when you're giving an answer, but it doesn't always encourage the author to give a really interesting detail. So we want to try and use a different kinds of linking words, words that I call magical detail words. One of them is when. I like snow. When it snows, I sometimes do a snow dance in the kitchen. And I say to the kids, how many of you are visualizing me doing a snow dance? Yeah. How many of you are making a connection? You do the same thing. Yeah, snow day, you're dancing. So now I'm touching on those reading powers again. Much like a good reader uses reading powers to understand, a good writer is writing in a way that will appeal to those reading powers. And then I continue on. I like books. Sometimes I sniff books in the bookstore. Kids love that one. Who's visualizing me sniffing the books? Yeah, in the corner. Yeah, really funny. And then they're like, who's connecting? Awesome. Once. I like red licorice. Once I ate a whole bag in a movie theater. Ooh, how many of you have done that? Yeah. How many of you imagining me just stuffing my face? Yeah. Okay, so we're using these magical detail words. So unsurprisingly now I say, okay, I want you to try and add some, use these magic detail words. Once, one time, if, when, sometimes. Add some interesting details to your boring sentences. They go ahead, then they share out. Basically this idea, you're giving your reader a little piece of yourself. You're allowing them to make a connection, a visual image. Also, I clarify, be careful. I like my friend Jessica, once upon a time a dragon broke down the castle. Make sure your interesting detail is connected. Okay, so then, you know what? Back here you said this was kind of more interesting, but the words were boring. Well, let's do a triple scoop word lesson. I read this book here called The Word Collector. That any of these word-related books would be a good start. Why do you think I read you this book? Because we're going to talk about interesting words. Okay, what are our goals? Interesting and clear. If we use boring words, our writing is going to be boring. So I take a little bit of time. I ask them, let's brainstorm some boring words. Good, nice, fun. Okay, you get it. Now I'm going to talk to you about ice cream. How many of you like ice cream? Yeah, what kind of ice cream do you like? Oh, bubble gum, chocolate chip, mint chocolate chip, cookie dough. Oh, okay, I want you to imagine waffle cone, 3 scoops, chocolate chip, cookie dough, bubble gum, whatever it is you like. You're waiting for that ice cream cone, and someone gives you the cardboardy McDonald's 1 scoop vanilla. It's still ice cream, but it's not that triple scoop deliciousness. There's nothing wrong with saying my friend is nice. It's grammatically correct, but it's not interesting. We want to use interesting words. So then I give them this sheet right here. On one side, it's got like a list of sort of common adjectives. He is nice, he is happy, sad, blah, blah, blah. I give them 5-10 minutes. I want you to try and come up with some triple scoop words. So instead of saying cold, what can we say? Freezing, shivering. Instead of saying hot, sweltering, melting, scorching, roasting. So I let them try that by themselves for 5 minutes. Then I introduce them to the thesaurus. I warn them, only use words from the thesaurus that you actually understand, because sometimes I have kids that use words that don't make sense. And then we share out. I create like a giant document. We have all these great words. Okay, the last thing I wanted to touch on, sorry I forgot to pull that up, is paragraphs. If we start paragraphs, I'll try and give a really quick overview of what I plan to do. So basically, okay, it doesn't matter how interesting your writing is if it's not clear. One of the easiest ways to make it clear is organize it. We are going to I like this little comparison. Otherwise, it's like you're polishing a car without an engine. It needs to be clear, we need to understand it. So paragraphs are like drawers. Sock drawer, t-shirt drawer, shorts drawer, pants drawer. It wouldn't make sense to put a pair of socks in your t-shirt drawer. The point of drawers is we put all our similar ideas together. When I look at something like this that is not split into paragraphs, it is terrifying. I'm overwhelmed. We want it to be easy for our reader. So first we're going to look at what is the structure of one paragraph. So I'm showing them a paragraph. Sorry. We looked at this paragraph today. I read it. My favorite holiday is Christmas, blah, blah, blah. Firstly, I love getting. Secondly, this. So basically, I have used, and I should have pulled it up for you. I found this resource in the My PETA thing once. It is a like schematic for paragraphs. Zoom in. Introductory sentence, first fact, idea, interesting supporting detail example, second fact, idea, interesting supporting fact, detail, third idea, interesting supporting fact, detail, and concluding sentence. So today I was like, okay, let's look at this. Then I was gonna have them sort. Let's put those things into these different boxes. Then I literally have like a paper sort. all about beavers. So it's like got, and I have like a solid copy of this, and they're gonna take the little bits of paper and put the introductory sentence in that box, fact, etc., etc. Do that a couple times. I have a physical paper sort. Again, I got it from Adrian Gear. About mythical creatures. It has a topic sentence. It has all those different pieces. And then I was gonna start having us like write one as a class. Something about probably Canada, because we're talking about that in socials class. Maybe something about Canadian food, fact, an interesting detail. And then I'm gonna have them use that structure again, and they are going to write a paragraph, probably 3, I was thinking. Maybe they're writing their favorite sport, subject, season. And then I'm gonna have, we're also gonna have to create a rubric. What does a paragraph look like? Self-assessment. I'll have them probably write 2, 3, or 4, I'll see how I feel. They choose their best one, they self-assess. Now we have a basic understanding of what a paragraph is and the purpose of paragraphing, in that we are splitting up our different ideas. Okay, that's a lot of information. Please come see me if you want more. Thank you.